Hello, this is Sammy. Welcome to Invest in Prayer. It's the greatest investment that you'll ever make in your life. Today, we have some encouraging words that will help you as you spend time with God.
Mr. Tippett, many people here believe that our city's under a curse because people who died here in prison camps building this city. Several years ago, I traveled to Norilsk, Siberia, to preach the gospel in a city that was built by slave labor under Stalin's regime. At that time, there were only a handful of believers in this Arctic city. Yet it was one of the most incredible meetings in which I've ever ministered. Despite bad weather conditions, we had the largest attendance of any kind of meetings in the history of the local football stadium. The most amazing thing took place at the close of my message. As I extended the invitation for people to come to Christ, 95% of them responded. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. As they made their way to the platform, I asked them to stop. I then once again explained what it meant to believe in and to follow Jesus. But they kept coming. After the service concluded, a journalist asked me, "Mr. Tippett, many people here believe that our city's under a curse because people who died here in prison camps building this city. What do you think?" My response took her by surprise. "No," I said, "I don't believe that your city is under a curse. I believe it's under a blessing." Looking shocked, the lady said, "But how can that be?" I then explained. Many of those who died building this city were believers. I'm convinced as they laid the asphalt on the streets, they prayed, "Oh God, I ask you to reveal your salvation to everyone who walks on these streets." I then looked straight into the eyes of that journalist and said, "Today is the day that God has answered the prayers of those dear people. So this city is under a blessing, the blessing of the prayers of those men and women whose lives were completely surrendered to God." Of course, I had no way of proving what I was saying to the journalist. However, I learned a few months later some very interesting facts. There was a group of young people from Moldova who had gone to the city before us to make preparation for those evangelistic meetings. What I learned was this: several of the grandparents of those young people had been sent to those prison camps because of their faith in Jesus Christ. Those godly people never saw the answer to their prayers, but God raised up their grandchildren, and they were the ones who saw God's glory and the answer to the prayers of their grandparents. God is looking for men and women whose hearts are completely His. He will change the course of human history to respond to those whose hearts are completely surrendered to Him. Prayer and a surrendered heart are a powerful weapon in the hands of the man or woman of God. God's word's not changed. He's still looking for hearts fully committed to Him.
I hope this was an encouragement to you. Our next broadcast will help you to make the greatest investment of your life, investment in time spent with God.